apologize for having to break the bad news to you. You will not be successful. It's not the most exciting way to begin a video, but it's sometimes necessary. Unfortunately, many people will tell you the opposite because they know the majority of people do not want to hear it, usually to sell you something. Most of you are aware that YouTube advertisements promising six-figure monthly incomes from Forex trading, Amazon sales, or house flipping are complete nonsense. Most people recognize that stating that you must pay for guidance is a major deception. Some do not, which is unfortunate and needs to be addressed. However, this is a different issue. Rather than focusing on a specific CoffeeZilla episode, this video will highlight specific financial players who wield far more power, legitimacy, and support. Welcome to Financial Fluence, and in this video, let's talk about the growing problem of YouTube influencers. I want to start by expressing my admiration for individuals like Graham Stephan, Andre Jink, and occasionally Dave Ramsey. They outperform everyone because they are not dishonest scam artists like Amazon automation hustlers. Furthermore, they are genuinely entertaining, providing people with an inside look at their own success, while presenting relatively dry content in a humorous and easy-to-understand manner. The problem is that personal finance should be boring. A popular saying goes that everything you need to know about personal finance should fit on a postcard, and some authors have done just that. If you commit to posting a 15-minute video every day of the week, however, you will eventually run out of topics to discuss on that postcard. This is bad because, as these people will demonstrate, they earn millions of dollars per year from their daily videos. So they won't say, "Oh well, I've taught you everything you need to know now." Of course not. That would be absurd. I'm sure if we were in their shoes, we'd do the same thing they're doing. Ride that damn gravy train as long as they can. They must, however, generate more content than what this posted note can provide. So they divide their efforts into a few broad categories: personal success stories, reactions, forecasts, and inventing new lessons. Before we continue, only a small portion of the viewers of my videos actually subscribe. If you find this video helpful, consider subscribing with notifications enabled. It's free and you can always change your mind afterwards, so that you can be among the first to apply any new and innovative strategies I develop for making money online. I will let you know as soon as I come up with them. I naturally earn the most money as a result. Let's return to the video now. Let's begin with the least problematic format, reaction videos. Although reaction videos are popular on YouTube, they have a bad reputation. When you think about it, this video format can range from completely useless to genuinely useful and informative. Graham and Kevin's videos are usually of high quality. When asked about personal finance, they usually respond by watching video series like Millennial Money or talking about high-end real estate, which is obviously their area of expertise. Others, such as Dave Ramsey, will respond to callers in real time. And while they may be a little repetitive, they aren't harming anyone except the caller's egos. There are no problems until these responses become predictions. Financial forecasting is nearly impossible. Even the world's largest financial institutions, which employ teams of PhD quantitative analysts, struggle, if not fail, to outperform normal market returns on a consistent basis. Because Tesla is such a volatile stock, seeing someone like Meet Kevin predict its fate in front of his audience is disheartening. He was certain. This is not financial advice, he declares, but he begins to reconsider after someone he believes to be a personal finance professional produces a spreadsheet that appears legitimate and forecasts a 100% gain for the coming year. Some of his audience members may receive bad advice from him. This is just one example of how financial advisors frequently use the phrase "not advice" in their work. This could be as simple as purchasing a duplex and renting it out, or as complex as investing in income-producing businesses. Earlier this week, Richard from The Plain Bagel published a video in which he discussed stock picking from the perspective of a real financial professional whose job it is to pick stocks for clients. After seeing that video, I considered not making this one because Mr. Bagel made a pretty fair and well-rounded case against it all. But then I abruptly became aware of it, establishing new rules that others must follow. Without YouTube, commercials for profitable investments wouldn't exist. Unlike what is commonly believed, a good investment should return money to the investor slowly over the same time span and steadily produce wealth over many years or decades. When things are going well, a well-diversified portfolio typically returns between 6 and 12%. The bad news is that it will not make you wealthy unless you have a good income and are very diligent about consistently adding to this portfolio over a long enough period of time for compound interest to work its magic. This brings us to the final type of troubling content: personal accounts of their accomplishments, which the vast majority of these gentlemen possess. And yet, Graham didn't go to university. Meet Kevin started with less than $1,000. Dave Ramsey went bankrupt. And the rest of them can't say, I worked hard in high school, got into a good university, and then became a doctor or an investment banker. Why? Because it appears to be more entertaining and approachable to a broad audience. This isn't to say that these backstories are all lies. Rather, they're the result of survivorship bias. Many people lack Dave, Graham, or Kevin's unique set of skills, nor do they have the good fortune to be hired for such high-paying jobs. Graham did not attend college, but he worked his way up, demonstrating that his talent for sales and personal branding compensated for his lack of academic credentials. If you're a great seller, go for it. Some well-known, lucrative professions offer varying degrees of certainty and commitment. Sales are the riskiest end of the spectrum. Whether on purpose or not, personal financial personalities spread the notion that foregoing education and going it alone would result in success. The vast majority of individuals don't concur with this, even though it might be true for them. It also sounds suspiciously like the promises made by more despicable financial gurus. Another issue with these personal backstories is that they are used to justify the rest of the content. Meet Kevin will be used once more to demonstrate this. One of his most popular videos is about how at the age of 27, he grew his real estate portfolio from $0 to $5.5 million. He acquired a highly leveraged position in cash flow positive real estate assets through a series of flips and equity releases. The risk, however unbelievable it may appear, is enormous. If you take a 5-to-1 leverage position in the stock market, most people will think you're crazy. But if you take a 10-to-1 leverage position in real estate, everyone will think you're a great investment. The vast majority of people have no idea how risky real estate can be. Kevin was fortunate to purchase at the beginning of one of the longest real estate bull runs in history. To his credit, he has significantly reduced his power and influence. However, this is an example of survivorship bias. Nobody will film them spending their entire life savings on house flipping. If Kevin had started investing in 2004 instead of sharing financial success stories on YouTube today, he'd be lucky to be an extra in The Big Short. Consider yourself a stripper in a neighborhood of 5 houses and 1 condo. If posting movies to the internet and earning as much money as these people do doesn't sound too cynical, I'd accept it. Despite the fact that it's not a book, an AI that can trade foreign exchange for you, or a course, they are still trying to persuade you to subscribe to their channel. In a culture where dramatic headlines and gaping mouths get more attention than sobering truths about how difficult it is to attain sustainable affluence, you should utilize it with caution. And that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy similar stuff, check out my other videos. And if you like it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. And I'll see you in the next video.